Hello and welcome back to Julie's Jewels. This is the American River Endurance Runs 2025 edition. Here with Julie Fingar. How you doing, Julie?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mike?
I'm super excited. Air 50, it always reminds me of like the gateway to summer. Like spring is in the air and it's always a beautiful day most years. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just I really love it's like spring is here. That's what I think about when Air 50 comes around.
That's good. I like that. The gateway
Yeah.
to summer.
Yeah, gateway to
Spring,
summer. So
summer.
we're here
Yeah.
to talk about the course, what you need to know, drop bags, buses, bib pickups, a little bit of the course detail, H stations. But first, I want to get into some history. This is a long standing race with a lot of deep history.
Yeah. So AR 50 is in its 46th year,
Wow.
AR 25 in its ninth, and AR 10 in its third year. So, long-standing historical iconic race, and only JFK back in Maryland is the oldest 50 miler in the United States. So AR is like the second oldest
Wow.
and second largest according to stats and numbers. But yeah, 46 years and
That's a long time.
keeps going stronger. So yeah, the race started in 1980 and the course went from Auburn to Sacramento. So
Really?
it's kind of like a downhill start, right? So first 3 miles were just
Yeah.
plummeting downhill. So 1980 and 81, that's how the course went, and it finished at Sac State. So it went that direction, and then in 82, the course changed directions and went from Sac State up to Auburn. So
Wonder why that was.
yeah, I think we'll have to ask like Bill Finkbeiner or Gloria Takagishi why the inception was to go that way. But I'm sure there's multiple stories out there that we'll learn about. But I know the first batch of runners, there was 200 runners in that first start, and I don't think they liked the dynamic of the course, hence changing the direction. So then it changed, and now you have basically a 3-mile ascent at the end of the race. But I think it kind of like flattened things out a little bit, made it a little more runnable and whatnot. So
yeah, to blow your legs out at mile 3, not ideal.
Yeah. So
that's amazing. It's a lot of history, and we've had a lot of runners that have done it for multiple years.
Bill Finkbeiner, a local Auburn legend, who does a lot of our trail maintenance, trail work. Wayne Miles, Dana Gard, and Gloria Takagishi, local legend as well. She has 39 AR 50 finishes. So yeah, we've got a lot of folks that have been involved since the very start.
That's great. It's such a cool history. So let's get into the race. Things that the runners need to know, all the details. So packet pickup. Let's start with that. Where are we going to go for that?
Right. So we're going to go to Fleet Feet Folsom on Friday, April 4th, from noon to 7 p.m. And that's where you're going to pick up your runner bib, your goodie bag. Show and tell here. Nice. And then also, if you are in the 50-mile race, you're going to get these drop bags from us. So you'll get you can have drop bags at Beals Point and Rattlesnake Bar, and of course the finish line. So you'll get 2 or 3 of these bags from the registration crew at check-in, and you'll need to put your contents that you're going to have on course for your drop bags in these bags. Yeah. So.
Okay, good. And can they pick up their bib race morning?
You can't pick up your bib race morning unless it's an emergency or your flight gets delayed or what have you. But the good news is you can have a friend pick up your bib on Friday for you.
Yeah, so same as Way to Cool.
Yeah,
where, you pick up on, and it's close by. It's right there. So
yeah, so. So that's packet pickup. And also too, always at packet pickup, we have some of our premier sponsors. We're going to have Makiko from Scratch there. She's been on our YouTube before and talked about all things Scratch hydration. The folks from Ultra, Nick and Ryan, will be at Fleet Feet all day long, talking about the newest
Yeah, there's always a new.
shoes.
There's a
Yeah,
lot going on with Ultra right now.
yeah.
We learned it at the Way to Cool. There's a lot of new products coming out.
There is, and those guys are happy to chat
Yeah, yeah.
and talk to you about that. So, and then we're also giving away some Fleet Feet gift cards there. So we
Mm-hmm.
do some random drawings, but you got to go to Fleet Feet. You got to go to pickup on
Yeah.
Friday the 4th in order to be eligible for these awesome prizes.
Speaking of the drop bag, so the 50 miler can get 2 spots,
Hmm.
and the 25 miler can get.
Yeah, so that good question. The 25 miler, we don't have drop bags on course, but they can have a bag for the finish line. So
Okay.
they can have a drop bag that will take for them from their start at Beals Point to the finish line
Is it the
in
same kind of
Overlook.
bag? Okay.
Same
All
bag.
right.
They can get that
Okay.
on race morning at the Beals Point start or at pack and pickup as well.
And 10 milers, you're carrying your stuff.
10 mile,
Carry your own stuff.
yeah, we got 2 aid stations for
You'll be
them,
fine.
and yeah, they'll be okay.
Good. No, I really like those 10 milers and the 25. It really adds a lot of opportunity for people to get out. And if you're not ready for a 50 miler, you're like, well, if I do the 25, and you're like, I could do that, and that was okay. Then you could do that twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets that camaraderie because
Mhm.
everybody gets to run together, and we'll talk
Mhm.
about when those races start
Yeah.
and how they intersect. But it's been a great evolution of getting people that again aren't ready for a 50-mile distance, which can be rather intimidating
Mhm.
as an ultra, and get this 25-mile distance into it, which is half of the second half of the Air 50 course,
Yeah.
and then now third year adding this 10 miler in.
Yeah.
So kind of your weekend warriors and your people that
Yeah.
may not be as experienced and don't want to be out there for days on end, so
Mhm.
they get to enjoy the last 10 miles of this course.
And they get to have the hill at the end,
They
which is
do, which is
that's the
just
best
so
part.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Like, why run the whole 50 miles? You can just do the last 10.
It's a good deal. Good deal.
So race morning, we got to park a car. We got to have a pass or not have a pass, and where are we going to go? And let's talk about all those details about race
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, a lot of logistics, and this is all on the website,
Mhm.
air50mile.com. So for the 50 miler, your start time is 6
Okay.
a.m. Okay, so you have a couple options how to get to the start, which is at Folsom Point, and you can drop your car at the Overlook Park, which is the finish line,
Mhm.
and take the bus, which leaves at 4:30 in the morning from the Overlook
Okay.
down to Folsom Point. This is the preferred best option. Trust us. Though you need to get up a little earlier, but you're not really sleeping the night before anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just take the bus to the
Mhm.
start and have your car there at the finish line. The other option is to get dropped off at Folsom Point,
Okay.
and you can do that. Friend, family member, drop you off there. The least preferred option is to leave your car at Folsom Point at the start line. And why we say this is because the park gates will lock at some point during a 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. corridor. We don't know exactly when the supervising ranger is going to close those
Yeah.
gates, and so if you finish the race at 6 or 7 p.m. up in Auburn and you still need to retrieve your car, there's a chance that your car gets locked in there, and then you wouldn't be able to get that until Sunday morning.
Good
So
news is
that's
safe.
why
It's protected
it's safe,
all night.
yes,
So,
but we absolutely encourage option A or
Yeah.
B to do that. So if you're staying at Folsom Hotel in the city of Folsom, the nice thing with our partnership with
Mhm.
Visit Folsom is that you will get a complimentary ride from your
Hmm.
hotel to the start line, and then there is a shuttle from the finish line at the Overlook back to your hotel.
It's pretty nice.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
That's a good
it's
deal.
a
And I remember the
great
buses
option.
last year. They were nice buses. These weren't school buses.
Oh, no.
These were like you're going to Reno
Yes.
kind of bus. These are
Yes.
good bus. If it's cold, in the morning,
Yeah.
take the bus. It's
Yeah.
warm,
And
comfy.
good point. You do get to stay on the buses if you are
Yeah.
taking either the bus from the Overlook or the buses from the hotels until about 15 minutes before the race start. So
Because
yeah,
some
take the
years
bus.
it could still be 50. If you're just standing around and it's 50 degrees, it's probably warmer, but it can get chilly. You're just standing there.
Yeah, for sure. It can be
Yeah.
cold in the
Yeah.
morning there. So yeah, So you can sign up on the website. We'll take you to a link to sign up for the bus if you haven't already, and you have until I believe it's March 25th to make your reservation for the bus.
And
So
how about the
sign up.
parking pass? If somebody drives into Folsom Point for a drop off, can they come in, or do they have to get a pass for that?
No, that are the morning. If you're just doing a drop off, you
Yeah.
can just kind of drop and go. And
Mhm.
again, if you are leaving your car and you don't have a state parks poppy
Mhm.
pass, which is the placard you
Yeah.
would put in your dashboard, then you do need to purchase a $12 day
Mhm.
use fee or a park pass from the kiosk at Folsom Point. And just be aware there will not be at that hour at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. there will not be a park aid in the kiosk.
Mhm.
So you will need to have the cash ready to put in the envelope and to put that
Yeah.
receipt on your dashboard if you're going to do that.
And Overlook is free parking,
Overlook is free parking. Mm-hmm.
which is nice. So it seems like the best way to go. Plus, it's a warm bus.
Yeah.
You can sleep on the way in if you want.
Yep.
So we talked about the hotels. You got there's certain times where they're leaving, and where is that? Is that on the website? Like what time
It is on the
leaves?
website. So I'm not going to try to regurgitate all this on the top of
Right.
my head, but it is
Okay.
there. So several of the hotels have pickups that are put together if two
Mhm.
hotels are in
Yeah.
the same corridor. So make sure
Yeah.
you look on the
Okay.
website for those departure times from the hotels to the start line itself. So again, and if you are staying at a Folsom hotel, we will get that bus count number from the hotel of how many occupants that we have. So we accommodate for you if you are staying at the hotel by default.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. So that sounds good. Let's get into the details of aid stations. How many are there? What are we going to have to eat?
Mm.
And what's good? And cutoffs and all those kind of details.
Yeah, so there's 9 aid stations on course for the 50 mile.
Okay.
We're starting at Folsom Point.
Okay.
We go do a 7-mile loop, come back to Folsom Point,
Mhm.
and that's the first aid station. And then from there, the 50 milers are going to make their way onto kind of the pavement, the bike
Yeah.
trail section to Willow Creek.
Hmm.
And at Willow Creek, that is the first kind of main bigger aid station with the aid station buffet that you and
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
of: boiled potatoes, peanut butter and jelly, scratch hydration, goo energy gels, pretzels, chips, candies, gummy worms, everything you could possibly imagine. The first aid station at Folsom Point will just have scratch hydration,
Mhm.
water, Coke, ginger ale, and a couple quick snacks to get you
Yeah,
through.
okay.
And then mile 11, which is Willow Creek, will be that
Okay.
first main aid station. And then from thereafter, albeit last gasp, which is the last aid station for all 3 courses, every aid station will be exactly like you see at Willow Creek, full aid station with
Okay.
the entire aid station buffet.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. And we had some scratch products over at the last race. We had we had some new products. I knew they had some new were those chews, and those were great. They had a grape one, or they
Yep.
had,
So, you'll see
Oh, yeah.
the grape chews on course.
Yeah.
You'll see sour cherry and
Mm.
orange scratch
Yeah.
hydration chews along with the drink. And we'll have that entire listing on the website in about a week and a half. And you can go on, click on this link, and you can see every flavor of goo energy gel,
Yeah.
scratch hydration, the scratch chews, the jam bars that we'll have on course at every aid station. So we
Yeah.
break it down for everybody so you know exactly what flavors you're going to
Yeah.
see. And if, of course, we hope you like all of our flavors, but if you don't, then that's something to consider to put in your drop bag for you.
Yeah. And I like that there's always a lot of variety, especially with jam bar. Yeah, even with scratch. And I like the data. Like I may go on the website and see, well, what kind of scratch, how many calories per bottle, and what's in a jam bar. And so if you like all those details, you can get all that. You can use that to kind of figure that out if you want.
And the nice thing with those jam bars, as you know, is gluten-free, vegan. So we have options really for everyone at the aid stations. And so, we're obviously trying to accommodate all the dietary needs and do the best we can.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
So the aid station chart, how many that's on the website. How many miles between each one, and
Yep.
the distance, and all that's on the website, and they can pull that off.
Yeah, so pull up those mileage charts on the website to see that, and we will do a more intense course overview,
Yeah.
talking about the terrain between each section
Mhm.
in our next YouTube. So stay tuned for that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, the 9 aid stations for the 50, and then the 25 miler starts at Beals Point
Mm.
at 7 a.m. and is going to go from Beals Point to the Overlook. So then they will have that last set of aid stations to patron on the
Yeah.
way to the finish line in Auburn, and then the 10 mile is going to start at 9 a.m. at Rattlesnake, which
Oh,
is
that's great.
basically mile 40 of the last 10 miles of both the Air 25 and the Air 50 course, and that's where the 10 starts. And they'll also have 2 aid stations en route to the finish line at the Overlook. So
And I forgot to ask about how do the buses work for those distances?
okay, yeah, we're gonna get back to the busing on that.
I
So
forgot about those. Yeah.
yeah, so the Air 25, same concept as the Air 50. You want to park your car at the Overlook
Okay.
finish line, and then get that bus ride
Okay.
to Beals Point.
Yeah.
Now, Beals Point is a bigger hub within the Folsom Lake State Recreation Area. Locals, you know this, but and you absolutely can leave your car at Beals Point and come retrieve that later. Again, you'll need that state park poppy pass, or you're going to need to pay the day use fee.
Yeah.
And I know at Beals Point, this is new. They have, when you drive in through that kiosk, again, if you don't see a park aid there, doesn't mean that you still don't
Yeah.
need to pay. They have a sign there with the QR code, and you can just scan that and you can pay online.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. And so that will get you a pass into Beals Point if you don't have that. And then, but you're going to need to figure out how to get back from Overlook back to Beals, and I don't think you want to run another 25.
You might
So
as well done the 50 miler.
yeah, exactly. So option preferred is to take that bus from Overlook and down to Beals Point,
Okay.
and do that. And that bus is check the website for the departure time on that one.
Okay.
And then the Air 10, that bus leaves at 8 a.m. 8 a.m.
Check
Yeah.
the website.
Check the website. Julie's like going crazy with all these departure times. That bus is going to leave from the Overlook and go to Rattlesnake Bar. So you can get dropped off there at Rattlesnake Bar, but again, with the same situation as our AR-50s with the Folsom Point, you don't want to leave your car at Rattlesnake Bar past that, dusk hours, because those gates will get locked. And then we won't be able to get in there until Sunday.
That's a great, having a 10 miler with a bus with a shuttle service.
I know.
That's a bargain. I mean, really, it's a great day.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it. So I would do that.
Easy peasy. Take the bus or get dropped off.
I know.
Let's have somebody pick you up at the finish line.
I love it. So on the aid station chart, does it also have cutoff times, or like what I on the aid station chart online?
Yeah, it does. So we've got intermediary cutoffs for both the 50 and the 25. Air 10, you're making your way to the finish line. So we hope to see you there in a nice period of time. But so check the charts for all the cutoffs. And again, the drop bags for the 50 are at Beals Point and Rattlesnake Bar. So you're about 25 miles in and mile 40.
And those are the starts of the other 2 races, which is pretty convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, that's cool. And getting into, so we talked about that. And how about your crew? I mean, can we have crew on the course and pacers, or who can and who can't?
So Air 50 and Air 25, you can have crew, absolutely, at only the crew designated location. So refer to that mileage chart, because that's got everything you need to know about drop bags, pacer, crew, medical, cutoff times. But if it is a no crew access location, so there are a few on there, that means that do not send somebody there. And if you do, you risk getting your runner disqualified. And why that is there's no parking there. It's one of our aid stations is at the end of a public road into the park, Horseshoe Bar, and so we can't have any crews that go there. Residents, we're at the mercy of our permitting and using the park and the regulations that they have. So, but there's plenty of places to go for
Mhm.
both
Okay.
races on the course.
Yeah, good. That's good to know. And I mean, yeah, we don't want to follow the rules. It's for the permit and for the neighborhoods, and we don't have a 57th and 58th here at 50. So yeah.
Yeah, and if your crew does not have a hoppy pass, if you're not local or have that pass, then again you need to pay that $12 day use fee. But the nice thing is that once you pay that at one hub, so let's say you start crewing at
Mhm.
Beals Point,
Uh-huh.
you do not need to get another pass when you go to Granite Bay and Rattlesnake Bar. So that
Okay.
pass gets you
Okay, good.
through all the Folsom Lake State Park and Auburn State Park jurisdictions.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. I like that.
yeah.
Sounds like a plan. And so, crew, how about pacers?
Pacers. So 50 mile, you can have a pacer at Beals Point.
That's 20 mile 25.
It's about 25 miles
Okay.
in. You can have a pacer at Granite Bay Horse Assembly. So it's about the 50K
And that, but that's
rounding
not a
marks.
crew. That's not a crew place, is it? Or is it? Forget.
It's you can crew there. You have to park over at Granite Beach.
Okay.
There's a big parking lot there, and then hike on over to the Granite Bay Horse Assembly area because that does not have a lot of parking there. So no crews can park, right near that aid station. So you need to utilize the parking lot across the way for it.
All right.
But if you're going to crew at Beals Point, I suggest then the next place you want to go to really is Rattlesnake Bar. Is
Yeah.
that mile 40
Yeah.
kind of thing? Because you risk, if depending upon the speed of your runner between Beals Point and Granite Bay, that it's about a 5 mile section.
It's runnable. It's really
runnable. So if you get caught in the signals and the traffic lights on Auburn Folsom Road over there, it could be a hard press again with parking across the way and having to hike over. Yeah, we've seen it done where people are carrying 20 coolers and trying to make their way. And so it's just not an efficient cruise stop.
So mile 25, the 50K point, and then and the pacer can be picked up at mile 40?
Yeah, again at Rattlesnake Bar. So three places for
that's
a pacer there.
And you don't really see how many 50 milers that have pacers. It's really great because a pacer is it's a good time with a friend.
Yeah.
It's not just it's really cool to have that. There's very few races that actually have a pacer for 50 miler, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, the pacer's there for the, safety of you, safety of the race, no muling, et cetera, et cetera. But, and pacers can use the aid stations, though we ask that you just take what you need and only what you need there. But one pacer at a time. So can't have three of your BFFs running with you at the same time.
It's not like a trail party.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, that makes sense. No, that's really great though. So the finish line, everyone's running, everyone's pacing. They're all about to do the climb. Last gasp is the last aid station. It's a water only, typically, right?
There'll be water, scratch, soda, maybe a special treat surprise. In the past, we've had popsicles and otter pops and whatnot. So there will be something there to surprise
and that's
you.
at the base of the climb. So then you got 2.8 miles or whatever.
2.4.
2.4. Okay.
Yeah, it could feel like 2.8 though, or 3.8. I don't know. It gets longer and longer every time I do that. But so it's less than 2.5 miles to the overlook there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So then. We're at the finish line. Your family has arrived. There's a big parking area. There's a skate park. Bring your skateboard. It's a really cool place. Hang out there, and then you can hang out in Auburn. But come to the finish line, and we're gonna have what kind of foods there? Like a food there and different things.
Yeah. So all the finishers, you are going to be treated to Taco Tree, which is a local Auburn business, and they have killer burritos.
Yeah.
So we'll be having those chips and salsa, of course. We have a Dust Bowl Beer Garden. So Dust Bowl Beer will be there. We also have Chef Tim Rufino's Soup of the Soul, homemade soup, delicious.
He had a vegan one at really cool. A vegan one. We also had this non-vegan like chili. With like roast beef chunks in it. I mean, people were loving it. It was a kind of a nice day, but his soups are just
it's legit. Of course, we'll have water and soda and Waterloo sparkling beverages there, and so homemade chocolate chip cookies as well. yeah, it's going to be a party up there.
How about vendors? Anybody hanging out? Any of your sponsors hanging out there?
Yeah, so the folks from Ultra will be there, Scratch will be there, Monsters of
Oh
Massage. We got Heidi Garner,
yeah, yeah.
just a whole array. If you've been to any of our races before, you can expect to see most, if not all, of the same vendors at the finish line at AR50.
Sounds good. What a day, huh?
Yeah,
I
do you
mean,
want to
like,
run it?
uh, maybe. Yes, I know, but
Yeah, like,
yeah, it is. It always reminds you of when Air 50 is here. It's like summer is right there around the corner. You get excited about it. I love that. So I think that's about it. So can we still? I know we're a few weeks out. I mean, can we still register? I mean,
we can still
and up to
register.
what point can you register?
Yeah, so we've got about a couple weeks, 3 weeks left on the actual registration, but
Yeah.
we have a total deal, 20 bucks off your registration
Oh,
from
okay.
today until Sunday at 11:59 p.m.,
What's the
March
date of
16th.
March 16th? Okay.
You used code AR GRIT, that's ARGRIT, at checkout in the promo code field, and you get 20 bucks off
Okay.
any of the distances there. So
That's a bargain.
it is a bargain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm looking
So
forward to it, and I'll be out
yeah.
there probably with a camera, taking pictures, talking to
Hmm.
people. We'll have some fun things going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And then new this year, we just had the site Way to Cool, but we'll have a live stream at the
Mm,
finish line. So friends, family, mom and dad
yeah.
back east can tune into the live stream, and that link will be on the website and in any runner communications that we send out. And you can watch all day long from 9 a.m. to the final finish time, just after 8 o'clock. Your run across the finish line on our live
Yeah,
stream.
that's great. So,
Yeah.
and with that, I think that's about it. So we'll have another video talking about in depth about the course. If you're a course person, you want to know terrain and what kind of shoes and what we getting into the kind of gear you know wear. Mostly shoes, footwear is a lot like Way to Cool, but we'll get into that. So stay tuned on the YouTube page for that video
Yeah.
coming up shortly. So awesome, thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
Thank
it.
you.
Goodbye.